Hi everybody, my name is Emma. I just recently started skating this year in March. I skated a little bit when I was younger, but kind of started dabbling more into it when my boyfriend got me my first pair of skates. They were the Moxi Beach Bunnies. I skated in them up until like probably August, I believe, almost every single day. About a month into it, I got more into park skating, and about halfway through that time, the boot kind of started to lift off of the base of the skate. So I was having a little bit of separation from the boot and the heel. That made it feel just like a little bit unstable, and I knew that they were kind of on their last legs. I did a lot of research on what kind of park setup I should get, what kind of skates I should get, but at that time the pandemic was exploding, skating was exploding, and things were just sold out and already over ordered and sold. I think before I really got into park skating, I ended up buying a pair of lollies, but that was going to take months to actually ship out and for me to get because of the manufacturing process and COVID and everything else that was going on. So I made the order, I ordered them, and then I waited, I think, like 4 months for them to show up. Once I finally got them, I was like, darn it, I should have gotten the jack boot because that one's just a little bit more sturdy for aggressive park skating. There's more stability within the heel. You just have more structure in the boot itself. Unfortunately, I already ordered the lollies and waited the 4 months for them to come. So when they finally came, I was like, you know what, whatever, it's fine. So don't necessarily recommend the lollies for that. I'm sure you'll probably hear many people say that, but that's just what I'm rocking with right now. And they seem to be doing okay. Yeah, there's not as much stability in like the heel area, but you know, we work with what we got. So this is what I'm rocking with right now. I think eventually I will probably try to invest in a jack boot once things are not as crazy in terms of shipping processes and manufacturing with COVID. So hopefully at some point soon I'll have a jack boot and be able to give a better review on that. But I just kind of wanted to go over my skate park setup because I was searching the webs for the longest time trying to figure out like the little bits and pieces that I wanted to build my setup with. I was looking for a lot of advice. There was a lot of mixed stuff. A lot of people use different hardware, so I was just trying to figure out what was going to work best for me. While I waited for my lollies, I ended up starting to order a lot of the pieces to build a setup because I didn't order a park setup through Moxi because I didn't know I was going to do park skating that much. Anyways, in the time that I was waiting for my lollies, I did a lot of research, and I guess I'll start off with the plate. I just ordered the stock lollies, so it comes with that nylon plate, and I had a couple of friends on Instagram that I follow that, you know, the plates lasted a long time, but eventually they do end up breaking if you're especially aggressively skating on them. And I knew that that's what I was gonna do, so it's like, you know what, let's just upgrade the plate right away. And I was doing a bunch of research on those, and when I went in to buy them, the lady at the skate shop was like, you know what, why don't you just get the magnesium plates, you know, they're better. And I was like, well, how much more? And it was like $100 more, so I figured you might as well just go for gold at that point. So I bought the magnesium Avanti plates. And so I had those ready to go, and I was like, cool, I got the plates. And then I asked them because Penny Trucks stopped making like their 3-inch wide trucks from what I was told. I don't even know if that's fully true or not, so don't quote me on that, but I couldn't find any myself. So I was like, do you guys have any wide trucks that would be similar to that while I was buying the plates? And they had the Sure Grip Park Series wide trucks, so I got 4 of those just to have ready because I knew I wanted wide trucks just to be able to do more tricks and just have a little bit more of like a wider wheelbase, I guess I would say, and just so it would work better for the grind block. So I got the wide trucks, I got the plate, and then I also got the yellow magical cushions, so they're a little bit softer, and that just kind of gives you more of like a reaction whenever it makes it feel like the trucks are loose without them having to actually be loose. And that was actually very helpful. I did that on my beach bunnies, and that helped me unlock a lot of new tricks and figure out kind of how to do a little bit more with park skating because I was able to have more movement in the trucks. So that was really nice, and you don't feel super unstable because you're not actually loosening the trucks. So I would definitely recommend softer cushions. That was super helpful in terms of just having like more reactionary movement and being able to do more tricks and stuff. So plate and the trucks definitely add a little bit more weight. So I don't know if that's like a factor. Well, I know that's a factor that a lot of people go over, but for me, I don't mind the weight that much. And I didn't really feel like the biggest difference in the world. The next thing I got was the wheels. I bought the Roller Bones Bull Bombers. They're the 101As. And I was still really confused on the wheels. Those are something that I don't fully understand. I just know that if it's harder, it's better for park skating because you get more speed. The smaller they are, I think you get better movement, but I feel like I want to do smaller wheels just to see. I heard that skate park wheels or not skate park wheels, skateboard wheels are good for that because they are smaller and you get less of a wheel bite on like your blocks and everything else, so it's just a little bit easier to do more tricks with. I will say that when I got these and I put them on, the hard wheels are scary as fuck. Like, so much faster, and it's weird how what it does to the movement. So if you're used to like spinning or doing turns really, like, I guess you just get used to like the softer wheels, but these ones, it's like, whoo, I ate on my first day with these because I just wasn't used to the speed or the hardness of it. I was trying to turn and I would eat couldn't figure out what was going on, and then my friend got harder wheels, said the same thing. So just, it takes some getting used to. Just be mindful of that. For the bearings, I got the roller boat, or not roller bones, oh my god. I got the Big Balls by Red's Bones bearings. Those are just gonna have like a bigger ball in the bearing itself, so you get a little bit more speed and they last a little bit longer. Not as good as like the Swiss ceramic ones, obviously. Those are like, if you're going for gold, they'll last forever. But these ones I had on my beach bunnies for a long time, and they are still on there and they're still going strong. So I just bought another set for these so I don't have to take apart my beach bunnies. I do frequently clean my bearings just because I do a lot of skating and there's a lot of stuff that gets skunked up in there. I've had some that I've locked up, so I try to make sure that I keep those clean. So we have the Bones Reds Big Ball bearings. I have the Roller Bones Bull Bomber 101A hard wheels, the wide Sure Grip trucks, the softer cushings. I need to change out my toe stops. I have the Kyle ones and then the brake pedals. I have new toe stops, I just need to change them out. Just as a heads up, with these plates, they do take a different tool to change out the toe stop. It's not gonna be a screw-in or adjustable. It's like a bolt-in toe stop essentially. So you will need a different tool for that. That was something that I also didn't know until like after I got them. I didn't really know a whole lot going into the skate setup until it was finally all put together and I had a better understanding. I still don't have a full understanding though. And then one of the last pieces that I got for like the actual hardware part of it was the Wild Bones Low Bones grind blocks. So I went over the grind block thing for probably months waiting on these lollies, trying to figure out which ones I wanted, which ones were available, what size to get, all that good stuff. I really wanted to do the Bigfoot ones because those I heard last a long time. You can easily stall and they're great for grinding as well. And they're also customizable, so look out for that. You can make your own custom like grind block with your own color and whatever you want to do for that, which is really cool, and I wanted to do that. But their process is a little bit different. You have to email them all of the information of your skate and sizing, and then kind of keep in contact with them, and they'll eventually end up creating the grind block for you. It just seemed like a longer process than I was willing to like go through. I didn't want to wait, and so I was looking into Chicks and Bulls, couldn't figure it out, but I knew the Wild Bones is out in Manitou Springs and I live in Colorado, so I was like, well, maybe I can like call them and make a trip up there. So I called them and I'm like, do you guys have any like low bones bone sliders in stock? And they said that they didn't, and that, you know, they can make them to put in an order, but I wanted them right then and there. So he was like, you know what, I might have some laying around, what size? And I told him that was another thing, is like the sizing on all of this stuff is kind of a headache. But for the plate size, a lot of the time you just need to know your boot size. For mine, my boot size is a size 7 and the plate was a size 7. I don't know if there's I don't think there's a correlation between those two. I think that's just how it happened, but plate sizing is a little bit different than the boot sizing. My best recommendation or piece of advice in terms of sizing for plates and stuff like that would be to contact a local skate shop or go into one, if possible, just to get advice and be like, hey, like this is the size of my skate, like what plate would be best for what I'm trying to do and what size do I need, and they can help you out. They know way more than I do, and a lot of other skaters, but you know, there might be some other park skaters that know what you're looking for and can help you figure that out. I just didn't know many at the time. So I went into the shop, they sized up the plate. I got a size 7 Avanti magnesium plate. So I already had the plates when I had called Manitou or Wild Bones in Manitou Springs, and I was like, hey, you know, like this is the size, and he's like, you know what, we actually have just like a random pair laying around that I just recently finished. It's that size, they're low bones, you can come grab them if you want. I was like, hell yeah. And I went up there and I got them, and they installed them on there for me as well, just because like I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, and he had installed them for me, and that was really great. So if you ever need help with that, a lot of the times the skate shops are like there for you. They're willing to help you out, and you don't know what you're doing at the time, so like it's nice to be able to have somebody else kind of help out with that stuff and at least put it together, because I had no idea. So he set it up for me. So then I had it all ready, put together, and the little like details on there are gonna be like my Derby Laces skates. I love the checkerboard ones. I wanted them forever. I had them forever waiting for these skates. I just have like some kind of cheapish, I think they're Sure Grip toe covers on. I was going for like a red, white, black, and purple color scheme. I need to change it up a little bit though. These are just like the stock toe sops that come with the Moxi Lolly. Don't recommend those. They're nice for like a backup pair. Don't throw them away, you know, it's a toe stop, but at the same time, maybe not go park skate in them. A little dangerous. Can't get out of the bowl either. But yeah, so I'm gonna change those out. My favorite ones for park skating are the Kaya, just because they're super thick, very grippy, so you can hop out a bowl like it ain't no thing in those, and that's really great. Other than that, I think that was mainly just like the little things on there, but that's pretty much the whole setup. My best advice would be to do more research on the wheels for like the kind of speed and agility you're looking for, because you may not need a harder wheel for what, like I honestly almost want to switch back to my fun days, just because I feel like that would be a little bit safer and easier for me to use while I'm kind of figuring out the grind blocks and everything, and getting used to the skate a little bit more, because these like almost felt like I was just like rolling into an instant death, which is a little sketchy, but you know, we made it work. Other than that, the cushioning sizing or the cushioning softness, I did have the pinker like orangish ones on the my beach bunnies. These ones are the yellow ones. I really like these ones. I think that they're great. I don't really see the biggest difference in the two, but they are two totally different skate setups. And then, so yeah, I would honestly, my best advice in terms of sizing and figuring out what you're looking for and what's going to work best for you would be to either contact a local skate shop or go into one. If that's not available, there are size charts online. They get a little confusing when it comes to like the beach bunny plates and other ones. I don't fully understand it because it doesn't go by a direct size from what I'm seeing, but correct me if I'm wrong. This is just like my own opinion. If I had somebody to kind of like break it down for me a little bit more in terms of like an actual park setup and how to go about finding the right sizing, the right hardware for all of it, it would have been a lot more helpful, because I did a lot of months of research on Reddit and Facebook groups just trying to figure it out. But I think at the end of it all, like the skate shops helped me the most with it. I've had these since August, and I haven't really been skating too much in them just because like a lot of craziness happened in my life. I moved. Winter is kind of starting in Colorado a little bit, so it'll be like kind of shitty out some days, and then on the nice days the skate parks are just packed. So, but yeah, I've slowly been getting my grinds down on these. It's a little bit of a science to that. You're not gonna get it right away. But I have been able to learn a lot of other tricks on these skates that I wasn't able to in the beach bunnies, just because I have like the hardware on that and like the reactionary, like the reaction on the hardware that kind of helps me move a little bit easier in terms of like quick tricks and just stuff like that. So speed was another thing. I have so much more speed. I was like a snail at the skate park before. Why didn't anybody say anything? But that's fine too. I think starting off with a softer wheel and going slower if you're starting out on skate park skating would be like the best advice, because you're not going to want to go to one of those death trap wheels right away. And then just for trail skating, like I normally do either like a softer wheel or like the fun days I normally use, which are fine because I just don't like changing out my wheels. But yeah, so the beach bunnies, I had my fun day wheels, the same stock plates. I used like the Kaya toe stops. Oh my God, fucking talk. That was a good setup for just kind of mobbing around. I still have it and I still mob around in it, and I don't really feel too many bumps or cracks with that. So if you're looking for just like a normal trail setup, I mean, the stock ones are great if you just want to like put on an outdoor wheel or if they already come with them. I normally recommend upgrading the bearings just because the stock bearings that normal or the stock skates come with are not really the best. They're gonna be a little bit slow. You're not gonna get as much speed. You'll get a little bit of wheel lock-in. Like when I first got my skates, I had them on for maybe about a month and I just took them immediately off and changed out the base. And then to also like loosen the wheels, make sure you always check your wheels too. Like make sure they're tightened enough but not too much. Make sure your toe stop's always in there. I can't tell you how many times my toe stop has gone flying and I just eat because I fall forward because my toe stop's not there anymore. So just always check your hardware, make sure you don't get your bearings wet, and skate park skating, just be safe, wear protective gear. I always have to wear my gear or else I feel like I literally can't even do half the things that I normally can because I'm too scared. Helmets are a big must, like head injuries are no joke. So those are my best pieces of advice for like skate park setups and skate park skating. Just try to find the right sizing on the hardware, see what works for you, and ask around at local skate shops or other skaters that you may know. Facebook groups help out a lot too, so if you ever need any information, Instagram threads or Facebook groups are super, super helpful. The Facebook group I'm in on Facebook is Rollout, a roller skate collective, and they have so many people in there with so many threads of advice. If you post in there like, hey, what wheels should I get for this? You'll get so much advice from so many experienced skaters that it's extremely helpful, and I highly recommend that for other people. It just gives you a little bit more of a community and a better outlook on stuff like this in terms of experience and what people have found works and what doesn't. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the time you took to watch this. This is one of my first YouTube videos, so I'm still trying to figure out how it all works. I don't even know if this is useful to any of you guys. Let me know if it is, or if there's anything else you have that you're kind of wondering about in terms of the skate park setup. I know there's a lot of videos on here. I was just trying to go over more of like the specs and details that go into it, because it's hard to find a lot of these things for your particular skate because different skates have different plates and sizing. It gets confusing. So I hope this helped a little bit, maybe, I don't know. And hopefully there will be future videos. I'm sure I will do something on like a trail skate setup and just different like hardware I end up changing out on these ones. And if I get a jackboot, I'll definitely do a review on that. But thank you guys for watching. Appreciate your time. Have a wonderful day.